In 1969, two young Australians, John Rendall and Anthony Ace Bourke, wandered into Harrods in London, drawn by curiosity and the allure of the city's most famous department store. As they explored the bustling aisles, they stumbled upon something extraordinary: a lion cub for sale in the pet department, nestled among the usual cats and dogs. The cub, confined to a small cage, looked out with curious amber eyes, a tiny king without a kingdom, his future uncertain in the heart of London. John and Ace felt an instant connection, sensing the animal's longing for freedom and companionship. They saw not a novelty, but a soul deserving more than a life behind bars, a creature whose spirit was too wild to be caged. On impulse and with hearts full of hope, they bought the cub and named him Christian, marking the start of an incredible journey. This wasn't just a purchase, it was a rescue, a promise to give him a better life, far from the confines of a shop window. They had no idea what challenges lay ahead, only that they couldn't leave him behind, no matter how daunting the road might be. Their decisions set in motion a story that would touch hearts around the world, capturing imaginations and inspiring countless people. Christian's arrival would challenge ideas about what it means to be wild or tame and blur the lines between human and animal bonds. The bond they formed would become a testament to the power of compassion, trust, and the courage to do what feels right. This was the beginning of a friendship that would defy expectations and change all three lives forever. The world was about to witness a love that crossed all boundaries, a story that would echo through generations. Sometimes the most extraordinary stories begin in the most unlikely places, like a department store in the heart of London where fate brought three souls together. Bringing a lion cub home to a London flat is anything but ordinary. It's the kind of story that sounds like a myth, but for John Rendall and Ace Bourke, it was real life, an adventure that began the moment they carried Christian up the stairs. John and Ace's apartment above a furniture shop in Chelsea became Christian's new den. The flat, filled with laughter and curiosity, was soon transformed by the presence of their unusual housemate. The shop, Sophisticat, turned into his playground. He greeted customers, played with toys, and even learned to use a giant litter tray. Every day brought new surprises as Christian explored his surroundings with wide-eyed wonder. Christian was gentle and affectionate, quickly becoming a local celebrity. Neighbors and passers-by would stop just to catch a glimpse of the friendly lion cub who seemed to charm everyone he met. Their bond grew stronger every day. Christian was family, not a pet. The three shared moments of joy, play, and quiet companionship, forging a connection that was truly extraordinary. Outings in the back of their Bentley and playtime in a nearby churchyard gave him space to grow. These adventures let Christian experience the world beyond four walls and gave him a taste of freedom in the heart of the city. The vicar allowed Christian to run and play among the gravestones, a surreal but beautiful sight. Children would laugh and adults would marvel at the gentle lion weaving through the old stones. Raising a lion in the city was challenging, but John and Ace were resourceful and devoted. They learned as they went, adapting their lives to meet Christian's needs and ensure his happiness. Christian's life was a unique blend of comfort and wildness. He lounged on sofas, napped in sunbeams, and yet always carried the spirit of the wild within him. The trio's friendship became legendary in Chelsea. Their walks together turned heads and sparked conversations, making them unforgettable figures in the neighborhood. In the heart of London, a lion found love, freedom, and a family. Christian's story was one of trust, adventure, and the power of connection. Their extraordinary bond was just beginning to capture the world's imagination, hinting at the remarkable journey that lay ahead for all three. John, Ace, and Christian were more than owner and pet. They were a family. Christian looked to them for comfort, play, and love, greeting them with gentle affection. Their connection was built on trust, understanding, and mutual respect. Christian showed remarkable gentleness, always careful during play. He saw John and Ace as equals, not masters. Their relationship challenged the idea that wild animals can't form deep emotional bonds. In their small Chelsea flat, love and friendship knew no boundaries. Christian's youth was filled with play, chasing footballs, wrestling, and pouncing with clumsy grace. The churchyard became his playground where laughter and trust grew with every game. Playtime taught boundaries and deepened their bond. Christian was always gentle, aware of his strength. As he grew, the games became more challenging, a reminder of his true nature. John and Ace cherished every moment, knowing change was inevitable. Their playful days were precious, but London could not contain a growing lion forever. The joy of Christian's youth was a prelude to a difficult decision. Christian was no longer a cub. He had grown into a magnificent young lion, his presence impossible to ignore. He was a powerful young lion, outgrowing his London life, his playful energy now matched by his impressive size and strength. John and Ace knew he needed more space, freedom, and the chance to be truly wild, something the city could never provide. Letting him go was heartbreaking, but it was the only way to honor their promise to give Christian the life he deserved. And they sought help from conservationists, connecting with George Adamson in Kenya, a man renowned for his work with lions. George agreed to rehabilitate Christian and introduce him to the wild, offering hope for a new beginning. The day of departure was filled with sadness and love as John and Ace prepared to say farewell to their beloved friend. Saying goodbye was the hardest thing they'd ever done, their hearts heavy with both grief and hope for Christian's future. Christian's journey to Africa was a leap of faith, a gift of freedom, and a chance to live as nature intended. John and Ace had given him a loving start. Now they gave him his future, trusting he would find his place in the wild. Sometimes the greatest act of love is letting go, even when it means facing the unknown. Their story was about to enter a new, uncertain chapter, filled with longing and hope for reunion. Christian's fate now rested in the wild, where every day would be a test of his courage and spirit. The bond they shared would be tested by distance and time, but their love for Christian would never fade. Christian arrived in Kenya, a world away from London. Under George Adamson's guidance, he began learning to be a wild lion, hunting, exploring, and forming a new pride. The transition was slow and challenging. Christian had to awaken instincts he'd never used. With patience and the companionship of another lion boy, Christian adapted. He grew confident, learned to hunt, and claimed his territory. Christian was no longer a pet. He was becoming the king of his own domain. George's work proved that even a domesticated animal could reclaim its wild heritage. Christian's transformation was a symbol of hope for conservation. He was living as nature intended, free and wild. Christian's journey showed that every animal deserves a second chance. His story inspired a new vision for human-animal relationships. A year later, John and Ace longed to see Christian again. George Adamson warned them. Christian was now wild, the head of his pride. He might not remember them. Despite the risk, they traveled to Kenya, driven by hope and love. The reunion was uncertain. Christian hadn't been seen for weeks. They waited anxiously as George searched for him. The odds of a happy reunion seemed slim. Still, they held on to faith in their bond. Their journey was more than a visit. It was a test of love and memory. Would Christian remember the friends who had given him freedom? The answer would soon become one of the most moving moments ever captured. Sometimes love means taking a leap, even when the outcome is unknown. The world held its breath for what would happen next. The moment of truth arrived. Christian appeared on the horizon, a majestic wild lion. John and Ace called his name, voices trembling with hope. At first, Christian hesitated, torn between his wild instincts and distant memories. Then recognition flickered in his eyes. He ran to them, embracing them with joy and affection. The bond had survived time and distance. Christian nuzzled and played, just as he had in London. The reunion was pure, overwhelming emotion, a testament to love's endurance. Even Christian's lioness companions watched in wonder. The footage of this moment touched millions worldwide. It proved that animal bonds can be as deep as any human friendship. Christian remembered. Love had never been forgotten. Their story became a symbol of hope and connection. Christian's story didn't end with that reunion. He lived out his days as a wild lion, his legacy enduring. His journey taught us about friendship, compassion, and the emotional lives of animals. Christian challenged us to see animals as individuals, not just species. His story is a call to protect wild places and respect all living beings. In a world where lions face growing threats, his legacy matters more than ever. John and Ace's greatest act of love was giving Christian his freedom. We must honor that lesson by supporting conservation and fostering empathy. Christian's life reminds us every animal deserves a chance to be wild and free. Through love and respect, we can create a better world for all creatures.